And DD India's Dasha Cherneshova joins us live from Moscow. Dasha, if you could take us through the details of the Russian strikes against Ukraine and the advances in the Kharkiv and Donetsk region.
Well, indeed, the recent development on the Donetsk direction is they taking over the Russian control of the town of Sokol. We understand this move is improving the combat positions of the Russian armed forces. Earlier this week, the Russian Ministry of Defense has reported taking control over one of the districts of Chasiv Yar, another key location in this direction. And also, we have heard that the Russian military have been improving their positions on the Kharkiv direction, where Russia is trying to create the so-called sanitary zone or the buffer zone, which will prevent the Ukrainian armed forces from striking deeper inside Russia, especially border regions of Belgorod, Bryansk and Kursk that have seen repeated shelling over the course of the past months. We also have heard that the Russian Ministry of Defense is saying that 23 group strikes with high-precision weapons have been carried out over the course of the past week. All those strikes are intended to decrease the military potential of the Ukrainian armed forces to destroy the places where they store the weapons that have been supplied from the West and to destroy the military infrastructure of Ukraine.
Dasha, any new development on the possible ceasefire talks or proposals?
Well, the recent statements have come from the Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov, who said that it's been 3 weeks since the Russian President Vladimir Putin outlined his conditions for ceasefire, which is the full withdrawal of the Ukrainian armed forces from the 4 regions which Russia now claims as its own: Lugansk and Donetsk People's Republic, Kherson and Zaporizhia regions. So far, no Western politicians have reached out to Moscow on that. At the same time, the Russian president held talks with the Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban in Moscow on Friday, in which he also outlined the Russian position very clearly. There will be no ceasefire unless Ukraine is willing to engage into substantiative negotiations, because otherwise Moscow says that Ukraine will be using any lull, any pause in the fighting as an attempt, as an attempt, and also as the time to rearm instead of actually trying to find a lasting solution to the conflict in Ukraine. So at this stage, as the West continues its support of Ukraine, as Ukraine is not interested in actually meeting the Russian demands on the forces withdrawal, Russia says that ceasefire is not possible.
Dasha, appreciate you joining us with those inputs. The U.S.